Synapse X wasn't just a Roblox cheat. It was the peak of an entire underground culture that grew alongside the platform. Before Synapse X, exploiting was messy, unreliable, and often short-lived. Synapse changed that by introducing something rare in the cheating world: consistency. It was a paid exploit, and that payment funded a dedicated development team whose sole purpose was staying ahead of Roblox's security. Every Roblox update triggered a race. Roblox patched vulnerabilities, and Synapse developers immediately worked to bypass them. This constant back and forth turned exploiting into a technical arms race. Synapse X allowed users to execute deeply integrated Lua scripts that could interact with internal game functions, memory, and client behavior at a level most developers never anticipated. In poorly secured games, Synapse users could effectively rewrite the rules, bypassing progression systems, manipulating mechanics, and gaining total control. Entire communities revolved around it, including private Discord servers, paid script marketplaces, and exploit developers who made real money selling exclusive scripts. When Roblox finally shut it down, it wasn't just the end of a tool. It was the collapse of a whole ecosystem that had thrived for years. Script executors are the foundation upon which almost every Roblox cheat is built. They are not cheats by themselves, but powerful tools that unlock the ability to cheat. Roblox games rely heavily on Lua scripting, much of which runs on the client side. Script executors exploit this reliance by injecting themselves into the Roblox client and forcing it to execute unauthorized code. Once an executor is active, the player gains access to internal functions, variables, and events that were never meant to be touched. This opens the door to nearly unlimited manipulation, teleporting across maps, modifying stats, enabling ESP, bypassing restrictions, automating progression, and even interfering with other players' experiences. The danger of executors lies in their flexibility. One executor can be used across hundreds of games with different scripts. Roblox constantly updates its client to break executors, leading to a never-ending cycle of patches and counter-patches. For users, this means constant risk, bans, account wipes, and exposure to malware hidden inside executors themselves. Speed hacks target one of the most fundamental mechanics in any game: movement. In Roblox, speed determines pacing, balance, and fairness. Developers carefully tune movement values to ensure that maps function correctly, combat feels fair, and objectives aren't trivialized. Speed hacks destroy that balance instantly by increasing movement speed beyond intended limits. Cheaters can outrun enemies, dodge attacks effortlessly, capture objectives instantly, or dominate races with no effort. These hacks usually work by modifying walk speed or velocity values on the client before the server has time to validate them. Some speed hackers push this to extremes, moving so fast they appear to teleport across the map. Others use subtle increases, just enough to gain an advantage while avoiding detection. Even a small speed boost can decide matches, especially in competitive games. Developers attempt to counter speed hacks with server-side movement checks, but exploiters constantly adapt to stay just below detection thresholds. No-clip cheats completely erase the concept of physical boundaries. In a normal Roblox game, walls, floors, and obstacles exist to guide player movement, create challenges, and define progression. No-clip removes all of that. With collision disabled, cheaters can walk straight through walls, fall through floors, access hidden areas, or hide inside geometry where they can't be attacked. Entire sections of gameplay become optional. Puzzles can be skipped, locked doors ignored, and traps rendered meaningless. In PvP games, no-clip can make players nearly untouchable, allowing them to attack from inside walls or escape instantly when threatened. No-clip is often combined with fly cheats, giving complete freedom of movement in all directions. Technically, it works by disabling collision checks or forcing the character into a physics state that ignores solid objects. Developers often detect no-clip when players appear in impossible locations, but exploiters constantly search for ways to disguise it. Aimbots are among the most destructive cheats in Roblox because they remove the human element entirely. In shooter and combat-based games, aiming is meant to reward practice, reflexes, and decision-making. Aimbots replace all of that with automation. They lock onto enemies automatically, often prioritizing headshot for maximum damage. Advanced aimbots can track moving targets, predict enemy movement, and switch between opponents faster than any human ever could. Some aimbots snap aggressively, making cheating obvious, while others use smooth, human-like movements to avoid suspicion. They work by reading positional data from the game and directly controlling the player's camera or input. Against an aimbot user, legitimate players have little to no chance, which quickly drives players away and destroys competitive communities. This is why aimbots are heavily targeted by anti-cheat systems and often lead to immediate bans. Manipulators are some of the most dangerous cheats because they operate quietly instead of using obvious hacks like flying or teleporting. Manipulators subtly alter how the game behaves beneath the surface. This can include enlarging hitboxes, reducing enemy damage, altering physics, increasing jump height, removing knockback, or speeding up attack animations. A hitbox manipulator, for example, can make enemies easier to hit without changing how they appear visually. Physics manipulators can make movement smoother, falls safer, or jumps unnaturally high. Some manipulators interfere with cooldown systems, allowing players to attack or use abilities faster than intended. Because these changes are subtle, manipulators are harder for players to notice and harder for developers to detect. In competitive games, even tiny manipulations can provide massive advantages while appearing completely legitimate. Macros automate gameplay by repeating recorded inputs like key presses and mouse clicks. While they don't directly modify game code, their impact can be just as damaging as traditional exploits. In Roblox, macros are commonly used to grind currency, farm items, level up accounts, or perform repetitive actions with perfect timing for hours or even days. Players often leave macros running overnight or while away, gaining progress without actively playing. More advanced macros can respond to in-game conditions, making them more efficient than human players. In games with economies, progression systems, or leaderboards, macro usage can flood markets with resources, devalue items, and push legitimate players out of competition. Because of this, many developers treat macro usage as cheating and actively detect and ban players who rely on them. Scam exploits are the most widespread and damaging part of Roblox cheating culture. Not because they break games, but because they destroy players. These are not real hacks at all. They are traps designed to exploit trust and curiosity. Scam exploits often promise free Robux, instant admin powers, or undetectable hacks that supposedly work after updates. In reality, they steal login credentials, install malware, or force users into fake verification steps that generate money for scammers. Many scams copy the names, branding, and reputation of real exploit tools to appear legitimate. They often target younger or inexperienced players who don't understand online security. Scam exploits are one of the leading causes of hacked accounts, stolen inventories, and permanently lost progress. Roblox regularly warns players that downloading cheats is one of the fastest ways to lose everything they've built.